What is up, citizens? Somalia is here bringing you part 2 out of 2 of the stall team building guide, in which we will be laddering today. I will not get too much into depth in regards to that because I do explain everything, including what I did change in the team since the last time. So don't worry about that. It's going to be just before we actually start the actual laddering. What I wanted to do in this intro was just basically say thank you to everyone who basically liked the video and left positive comments. Made me kind of happy, made this old man happy inside. And I just wanted to say this video will be split into two parts. The first part featuring me laddering on PO Simulator. If you're interested in downloading PO, I will be leaving a link in the description. If I'm not allowed, I will be leaving it in the comments. So be sure to check it out. Um, what else did I want to say? I keep forgetting because I'm dumb as hell. Oh yeah, like I said, this video is going to be split into two parts. That's the first part, live ladder, and second part is Q&A, basically answering people's questions from the last video's comments, as well as any other questions people might have in their heads, but for some reason they did not post them in the last video, maybe because they're too scared. I don't know, but so yeah. So without further ado, let's go into part one, guys. Okay, welcome back, citizens. Somalia's here, and I'm bringing you part 2 out of 2 of the stall series. So basically, just to clarify to folks, in the first part we made a stall team, and I has a brief explanation of what kind of threats it counters and whatnot. So this is part 2 out of 2, which will feature me laddering against various teams, just so you guys can see how to actually utilize the team to its maximum potential. And that should pretty much be it, and I'll explain a little bit more throughout this video on how exactly this team deals with several threats. Now, one thing to note is that I did change one member of this team since the last video, simply because sunny day teams have been a lot more in usage than when I actually made the team. And this is probably because when I made the team, it was like about a few days in to when Black and White 2 was released, meaning everyone was hyped as hell, overexcited and shit, for using rain teams with those new Therian forms. So obviously rain is still the dominating weather, but sunny day teams are starting to increase in usage, which is just a pain in the ass. So right here, I'm not going to be using an alt that is at 1000. I'll be using something a little bit higher. Um, and yeah, so let's go and find some battles. Okay, so we're against Destiny 1 right here. And judging from his team, he does have Mammal Swine and a Magnezone. So that will be a little bit problematic simply because I cannot bring in my Fortress as much as I'd like to. So we'll have to play around this guy. We'll have to play around him. So just jotting down his team. And what's his last? I'm blind as hell. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting the Magnezone. So obviously initially I'm not going to lead off with my Fortress simply because he could lead off with his Magnezone. And I also do not want to be leading off with my Landorus because it's weak to ice. So I'm going to lead off with my Jellicent right here as he leads off with this thing. Now I can go for either the Scald or the Will-O-Wisp. And if I do go for the Will-O-Wisp, it basically cripples, let's see, one, two, three, half of his team, while generally being annoying to the special attackers. If I go for the Scald and he switches, either way, it doesn't really matter, but I will just go for the Scald here, as I want to cripple the Mamoswine, who is a huge ass threat. So now I do take him down to weak health. I could go for another Scald or the Will-Wisp. Endeavor does not affect me, so that's pretty cool. And Earthquake will do jack squat. So I'm just gonna go for the Will-Wisp. He gets a crit, no biggie, simply because I figure he's probably just gonna stay in here trying to stall me out. That's all good because now his biggest threat is gone, which is great. So I really do not know why he left his Mamoswine in. I don't know if he probably didn't figure it's my biggest weakness, but okay. So I'm gonna come out with his Magnezone right here, and let's see what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so we could bring the Landorus, but it's not worth it just yet. We could just bring the Amoonguss just to be safe, because he really doesn't have much to hurt me. So when playing around Pokemon who are threats to your team, you have to kind of play around just to scout what kind of sets they're using. We're just waiting on this guy. And if he does Volt Switch, let's see, if he Volt Switches and I bring my Amoonguss, he's probably gonna go into his... Okay, flash cannons. Doing huge ass damage. Is definitely specs. If I can put this thing to sleep, that would be amazing. So, let's see. I could go into my fortress just to like spin off the hazards or even Volt Switch out. But if I make something sleep, that's also very beneficial. But I just think I'm just gonna go into my fortress right here. Let's see. Well, what is he gonna switch into? Amoonguss Latios. Ah, I'm just gonna switch right here. Okay. I do not need my fortress in this match. It's pretty much useless, but I could spin, which is all I wanted to do. So now he doesn't have any rocks up. That's pretty cool. Let's see now. Let's get up the rocks ourselves. So obviously, if his Mamoswine was still alive, I would never have let my fortress die, but it's dead. So shadow balling me. Okay. Now I do know what's gonna be coming here, and the reason I stayed in is because I'll just body slam his Magnezone. But okay. So right here, he's probably gonna switch to his Magnezone simply because let's see. I'm gonna go right into my Dragonite. And, terrible. I really do not like special defensive drops, but they happen, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, it does huge ass damage. But I managed to finish off the Gengar. And as you guys can tell, this is a special defensive Dragonite. Well, not now, because his special defense is at -1. So, yep. He's gonna bring in his Magnezone right here. I'm at -1. And he most likely does have the Inner Power Ice, which is a huge ass threat. So I have to scout with a Pokemon who is not that big of a deal. Let's cross out Gengar. I'm going to my Amoonguss right here. He goes for the Flash Cannon once again, not knowing really why. Now, these two are my choices. I could go for the Body Slam, cripple almost anything, and then switch out. Let's see. Jellicent comes in. He has to switch out. He won't switch out to his Mence. He'll switch out to like his Latios on me since Scizor will be crippled. Jirachi, if I bring it in, he can bring in his Scizor. He can bring in his Salamence. He can bring literally anything. Probably not his Latios. And his Mence is the biggest threat. So, I think I need my Jirachi more. So, let's go. Just gonna be okay. So that worked pretty well. I think I would just be going. I could go for the Shadow Ball, but nope. I'll just go for the Will-Wisp. Pretty cool. Okay, this looks like he is going to switch out. So, yep. So I'm choice specs now. Alright, that's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, obviously they're gonna bring the Latios. He could bring his Scizor getting Thunder Wave is not an issue. Magnezone's slow as hell, so also that's not an issue. I figure let's just go for Earth. Ah, he Volt switches. He's faster than me. Damn. Damn, he's faster than me. Okay, let's see. I really don't know what he's gonna be doing. Excellent. Okay. I figure we can go for the setup right now. Well, he obviously has switch. I'm thinking, would he switch into his Scizor? If he does, it's pretty much game. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So he probably thought I was one of the typical sets that are choiced, but I'm not. So I'm gonna take out his... What is his name? Latios. I'm not even thinking now. Okay, I could go for another one, but nope. I think this is enough to hit KO. Yep. So I figure people might be asking, dumb, stupid ass Somalia, why are you not using this Swords Dance Rock Polish set? Well, I like boosting my defense as well, simply because it works against stall. So, wow, Stone Miss is actually reliable for once. So, pretty much good game. What's the time right here? 8. Let's go for another match with this team. Let us go. So, we are versus the Iron Scientist. And he's utilizing rain offense with a Dustclops, which really does not make sense. But the thing I really want to be luring out is a team that has a sunny drought, Ninetales, sun. That's what I want. So obviously, seeing this, I think I reckon this might work. Yeah, I'm hoping that he's not one of the bulky variants. I'm hoping he's choiced, so I can bring in. The reason I didn't go into Mungus is because at times there are specs they go for the ice beam and they crit and oh he kills, which pretty much sucks, but whatever. So now he obviously has to switch out. I'm just gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. Just not nice. Um, let's see. Yeah, he got the hidden power ice. I wanna now Spore it right here, rendering it pretty useless. He cannot really switch in anything, and that's good for me. So except for Dustclops, yep, which he does. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to set up. Terrakion is not a Pokemon. I mean, Jirachi, I do not mind if it gets burnt at this point. Oh, he got a taunt. Hmm. Let us see what we can do. Um, let us just switch out right here. I'm gonna go for the taunt. I'm just gonna keep. I think I'm just gonna keep going for the Shadow Ball. There's really nothing to lose. There is really nothing to lose right here. Probably gonna go for the taunt again. And I get a crit, which does suck. However, it still would have been a 2-hit KO, which does not matter. So, he dies. I do not know why he left it in, to be honest, but okay. He's gonna bring in his Cloyster right here. Could go for the Shell Smash. But then again, Shadow Ball should be doing a huge chunk to it. I'm hoping it's not Hydro Pump. Yes, Razor Shell. It's not that bad. So, Volt Switch gonna take it out. We killed the Cloyster and the Dusclops. Let us go back. I don't want Swampert to be in trouble. We'll just go back into Amoongus. Now, Amoongus is a real player simply because he just sticks out the middle finger, even though he has no fingers to rain. So okay, I'm not even gonna set up. I'm just gonna go straight for the EQ. Yeah, it was no point. He could have had the ice beam. Probably gonna. Oh, didn't predict that, but he gets it off nicely. Right here, I'm just gonna go for the Giga Drain, figuring out it's gonna give me decent damage. It's gonna give me decent recovery. And let's see. Dragonite can take a hidden power ice. And the sleep counter resets in Gen 5, meaning that even though he burned some, I think a turn of sleep earlier, it does not count. So now he just burned one turn. It's gonna go. Wow, that really sucks. The reason I went for the Dragon Tail is because I thought he was gonna switch out, but that obviously does not matter. Gonna go for the Scald right here, knowing he's forced to switch out. I'm hoping Will-O-Wisp hits. It never hits for me, and generally this is a really sucky move. Yeah, like so. It just does not want to hit. Yeah, obviously only hits on the wrong Pokemon that we do not need, which kind of sucks. So this is what I mean. I mean, people, they're playing pretty weird, but whatever. I do not have my rocks up, do I? Kinda sucks. Make a double switch predicting him to switch to Pert, but he goes to Terrakion, which is all good. It's pretty much game. I'm just trying to play safe, so I do not do anything really stupid. He's been getting, our friend here has been getting very lucky, but whatever. So this Swampert going nowhere except for down to his graves, which is pretty cool. So we can tick it off the list. And using this team is pretty much straightforward unless you have like basically two of the biggest counters to it on the same team, like we did in the previous match. Mammoth Swine is pretty hard, but you know, between getting up hazards and playing around it, it's not too bad. Obviously, this team is not as good as it was like back when Black and White 2 was immediately came out, simply because a lot more people are using more threats to this team. But just to basically show you how to utilize stall. So yeah, stall. Unlike heavy offense, stall you really cannot afford to lose a Pokemon if you can help it. So he's gonna obviously go for hidden power ice. I have no problems. Ah, he's not life orbed. I have no clue what set he's running, but whatever. I think he's choiced in some way. Yeah, he has to be choiced. Okay, so he's probably gonna let me kill off this guy right here simply because Raikou can't take the Scald. I don't know why he did that. It was pretty much better for him if he did not. But then again, he has to lock himself into a move. I do have the Landoras, so he cannot just spam Thunder. He's probably just gonna go. Okay, so hidden power grass or electric, but grass makes a lot more sense. And good game. I'm really hoping the last match we can get a battle versus Sunny Day. So good game. Ranking for OU 1315. Okay guys, so we got a new team right here. Celebi, Terrakion, Arcanine, Empoleon, Crook, and Crobat. So let us see what we will be doing. So unfortunately we did not get any matches with Sunny Day, which does suck. I'm really sorry for that. But I promise I will be doing more videos of laddering explaining how to utilize this team on my own channel. So go check it out after this. So okay, let's go into this match. Celebi, mostly underused. Underused, the best tier ever. Let's see. Let's go, my nigga. Let's go. Just gonna figure out leading off with my Jirachi. Getting up them rocks. Because he does have Arcanine and Crobat, so that's pretty cool. He's probably gonna get his rocks also. Variation 1814, so he's well above 1,300. Because I'm 1,300 something. So I did not understand what this guy's doing. He specs? Yeah, he's probably specs. Gonna set up the toxic spikes and spikes because I do not mind if this thing does have the hidden power of fire, as long as I do get these hazards up. Is pretty much game. Yeah. He might have the hidden power ice knots. So this is how, once you get up the hazard, it's pretty much over if you can just, you don't even need much prediction, minimal prediction, nets you the game, folks. I'm gonna go for the psychic right here, but it's not gonna save him from dying. That's Celebi out. I'm not gonna cross that out just yet because he'll probably use it for Death Father later. The taunt, the taunt. Acrobatics, but his Crobat definitely bites the dust from that Stone Edge. And the set, yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not using this Landorus T as a uh, defensive wall. I'm using it as a pivot slash sweeper, so when given a chance, it can actually sweep. But I just gave it some bulk so that it can be an effective bulky sweeper, if I must say so myself. So he's bringing in this guy. I do not know what he's up to. Really do not know what he's up to. He might be going for that bandit Stone Edge, which seems like the most logical move. I'm not trusting this guy. I'm not trusting him, and yep, he is definitely not. He's definitely not scarfed. I mean, choiced. So his Celebi now dies. I can cross it off the list. And he brings in Arcanine. Okay, Arcanine. Now they do run the Wild Charge, Crunch slash Close Combat, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed. So, yep. Really bad, but what can I say? Arcanine's pretty beast, so I'm not gonna be complaining. What I should have done was gone into my Dragonites, but silly me, not paying attention. That's the problem with me. So it's not like it mattered anyway. Stone Miss, my friend, Stone Miss. Really bad for this guy, Salic Berry. So apparently the berries are released. This really does not matter. I'm probably gonna go for the close combat, which does suck for him. Predicts nicely, but like I said, once enough hazards are up, and if your team is in good shape, hazards mean nothing. Um, yeah, we can just let Jirachi die. No need to be selfish. No need to be selfish. I'm not even gonna play cheap. Just let him kill me. So he locks himself into that. So I'm obviously gonna be wasting time. And yep, that's pretty neat. He's paralyzed and still he does not get critted. Is that even a word? I'm gonna EQ him, finish him, and then go. He's gonna bring in his last Pokemon, Crocodile. What a crook. So I'm gonna go for Earthquake. He crunches. Ouch. He crunches. Good game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to explain my thought process throughout this video. Like I said, I did not have enough time to be uploading a lot more matches, but I will be doing them on my own channel. So obviously go check it out, go sub and whatnot. And the most important thing, nominate a team that you would like me to use in the comments below. So this is basically the stall part over. You guys nominate a new kind of play style and I'll build a team, and then next part, I'll build a team, then after the next video after that, I'll show you another ladder. Peace. I'm out. Okay, folks, time for Q&A. Yay, yay, yay. So let us go and read out some of the comments word for word, because just so that you guys are sure I'm not making up bullshit, obviously. So I'm not gonna say the username, but what? Okay, so this is the first question. What about changing Jirachi to Heatran and swapping out Blissey for Chansey for a better Tornado Therian check? That's a pretty good question, and it got a lot of valid points. Chansey obviously being able to sponge hits much better than Blissey, but this being a stall team versus other stall teams, for one, I do like the recovery that Leftovers brings me, and Evilite allows the Chansey to be worn down pretty quickly. Obviously, the Chansey is going to have better defenses, so Chansey looks like a superior choice. I guess it's just a personal preference. I do like the Leftovers, as well as I do pack. I used to pack when I used to have the Blissey. I used to pack either Ice Beam or Flamethrower, and Chansey's special attack is just really bad compared to Blissey's. So therefore, I decided to use the Blissey. But nevertheless, that was a good question. First part of the question I did not answer yet is swapping the Jirachi for Heatran. Now that would mean Rheniclus, as uncommon as it is nowadays, I really don't see it. Like, correct me guys if I'm wrong, but I figure Rheniclus will sweep my ass if I do not have a Jirachi to keep it in unlock. So, Rheniclus is a pretty big problem. Excuse my stupid ass stuttering. So, Heatran is also four times weak to ground type moves, which means that even the weakest ground type attacks, whilst Jirachi probably can take them and still live, Heatran will no way be able to. Let's see what else. Yeah, Tornado Ethereum form will be that much more of a threat simply because superpower is super effective against Heatran and will be doing good damage, whilst it does not so much to Jirachi. And Jirachi also has the Wish, which benefits the team a lot more. Now, obviously, if a Magnezone comes on Jirachi, I'm in a lot more trouble than if I had a Heatran on his Magnezone. But Wish is useful. Body Slam, spreading the world of hacks is just absolutely amazing. Seriously, guys, when you're versing all-out offense and you got Body Slam, they like a ghost. You know you're gonna be paralyzing something. You know. For sure. So that's pretty cool. So those were the points that I just wanted to say. Now let's go and look for a second question. Let us go and check. So someone was saying, let's see. Why Shadow Ball over Nightshade? Now Nightshade does a set amount of 100 HP damage, which in some scenarios might be better. For example, on a T-Tar, when it's at low health, Shadow Ball is not going to be destroying it. It's nowhere near going to be doing 100 HP damage. But the issue with Jellicent is that I do have Scald for that reason. Scald does hurt T-Tar at least for some good damage, or like 20, just over 20%. So it's not that bad. While also Pokemon such as Gengar, I really would not want to be only doing 100 HP damage when I could be doing a whole lot more, like about 80-70% with Shadow Ball. So that's one of the main reasons. But good question nevertheless. Now let's go look for something new, guys. Sorry if this seems a bit unprofessional. This is like the first time I'm doing this. Okay, so someone is saying that where is the damn comment? I cannot see it. Okay, so this guy basically said you have three things weak to fire, one that gets destroyed by a solid stab, fighter, and move, and two that can kind of deal with fire types but cannot take hits repeatedly without recovering off damage. CB Infernape, meaning Choice Band Infernape, could probably rip that team apart with rocks up and a layer or two of spikes, granted that they can keep Furry from spinning. Now you have to basically understand that it's not going to be easy for the opponent to set up that many hazards while me just sitting there ideal doing nothing, because the team is stall based, but obviously I do have pivots such as Landorus T, who's obviously going to exert some amount of pressure, especially on an Infernape. Now, see, Choice Band Infernape is limited to several moves, obviously, pretty good ones, so it has good coverage, but nevertheless, I can keep switching out. As his choice locked, I can keep scouting, and if it locks itself into the correct move, it'll have to keep switching out. And when you see an Infernape, or basically any threat in general, your main game plan is set up hazards as soon as possible. Now, when the opponent sets up hazards, probably using that Ferrothorn, Skarmory, Fortress, all the good stuff, I obviously am not just going to be sitting there ideal doing nothing. I'm also going to be setting up my own or spinning off their hazards. So, that's pretty good for me. And another thing is playing around your opponent's threat. So you see the Infernape. The Infernape is going to come in on, for example, Amoonguss. So I got my Jellicent, I got my Dragonite, I got my Landorus Therian form. I can easily go into my Landorus Therian form, Sponge, even if he goes for the Fleur Blitz, which he most likely won't, since I got a Dragonite and Jellicent. So most Infernates that are versed, when like mid game when they come in, they just usually keep U-turning out. So they get switch initiative. That's it. Like, they really do not deal any solid damage. Jellicent and Dragonite resisted stabs, and they easily can recover using Roost and recover respectively. So to be honest, Infernape's not that big of a problem. Some people were saying Mamoswine gives this team a world of pain, which is definitely true. I mean, that's probably the most truest statement ever. I don't think truest is the word, by the way, guys. But yeah, it's definitely true. Mamoswine is one pain in the ass, and I always have to play around it. Most people, for some odd reason, always let it die pretty early in the game, which is really weird since it really wrecks my team. So if they play smart, manage to keep my hazards off their field, and also somehow manage to get up their hazards, Mammoth Swine will definitely be a problem to my team. The issue being is whenever they have a Mammoth Swine, I usually get up my Toxic Spike, even one layer ASAP, sorry. Yeah, ASAP. Just meaning that Mammoth Swine is very much crippled and will die much faster, especially if it's life orbed. So, those were all the questions I could answer. I don't think there's any more really. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it probably wasn't the most professional thing, but I'm trying my best, guys. I will definitely improve. Don't forget to comment under the playstyle you want me to see. I specialize in UU. UU is my favorite tier by far, and I mean by far. If you want any playstyle, which is of course viable, let me know. Peace, guys.